YouTube, it is me again, back with another video, and I'm going to be trying, apparently to speak English, I'm going to be trying to be more chill in this voiceover, because I feel like this character is chill. So this is Cornelia Blue, which I think is just a fun name, and she is based on the blue cornflower, and I would never have thought to use the blue cornflower, except it was added to Minecraft. So that's that's a thing that that is there. I hope you appreciate that fact. So Cornelia Blue, she's an interesting one. I think she is one of the most interesting in terms of how different she is from what I usually do. I wanted to really use this blue because I am in love with this color blue. I am in love with this really rich, vibrant, intense sapphire blue. It is one of my favorite colors, and that's due in no small part to the fact that it's my mom's absolute favorite color, and it is everywhere in my life. And so when I saw this flower and I saw how bright and blue it was, I decided her hair needed to be big, it needed to be textured just like the leaves, it needed to have a lot of texture and oomph and volume just like the leaves, and I wanted it to be big and I wanted it to be a focal point. So I decided that I was going to give her this poofy, curly, intense hair, and it was also kind of a way for me to challenge myself to draw more curly hair, because I actually pointed out in stream, I think last week now, with Jenna drawing. She was on stream, she was drawing expressions, and I pointed out that curls are some of the hardest things for me to draw. I have so much trouble with curls, and that's actually a pretty common issue. A lot of people have problems with curls. They're just very difficult. And one of the things that I really used in this drawing was the symmetry, and I just really wanted her to have a very symmetrical face, because I wanted her to be as objectively attractive as possible. So I do use the mirroring tool a lot in this one, and I know maybe that's a little cheaty, but I think that it made it look really aesthetically pleasing. Now, I wanted to fill up the space on her chest a little bit, so I decided to give her some fun tattoos, because I had yet to draw a character with tattoos, and I'm pretty sure she's the only one with tattoos out of my flower girls. I could be wrong. I could be totally making that up. But I really wanted to add some cool tattoos, because I don't draw them very often. I do have characters with tattoos, I just never draw them. So I decided to put what I believe is a blue robin on her chest, I think is the bird I decided to go with, and then some of the blue cornflowers on her chest as well, going out from the wings, and I just decided to put a rose on her neck, because I thought it would be pretty. I think that this is some of my favorite hair. I think I'm just really proud of how it turned out, and how the curls look super real and fun and full. And I just love curls. I've always wanted to have really curly hair, but I can't use a curling iron. I try and I just burn myself. So if I want to have curly hair, I have to use curlers, and I have a lot of hair. I have a lot of really thick, dense hair. So curlers are just a difficult adventure for me. But I also wanted Cornelia to have a really striking, just sort of look. And the model that I ended up going with was this gorgeous African-American woman. She was so pretty. I feel like my drawing didn't even do her justice, and I love this drawing. And so I decided to go with some really dark, rich colored skin, and I wanted it to have a warm undertone to the skin so that it would really offset and play nicely with the blues in her hair and in her makeup. So I did have a hard time with this. That's one of the things that I'm trying to really tackle with this series and with the series that comes after, which I'm not going to, I think I just hit my mic, which I'm not going to talk about until the end of the Flower Girl series, which is rapidly approaching. But that's one of the things I wanted to tackle, is to challenge myself to draw things that I usually don't draw that much, and I have a hard time shading dark skin tones. I'm not really sure what it is, but I tend to find that my dark skin tones look muddier, and I'm really not sure what that's about. So if anybody knows, please do tell me. I'm genuinely really curious if there's just a technique issue that I'm having, or if there's something I need to know. So if you also have this problem, and if you know a way to combat this problem, do let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm just doing something that would work for a lighter skin tone but doesn't for a darker skin tone. I don't know. But I wanted to challenge myself and do a really dark-skinned girl and woman. And I think Cornelia turned out really great. So I was pretty proud of my shading on this one. Now here I'm just shading in the birdie, and I wanted to give all of the tattoos flat colors and then shade the tattoos in and then make them an overlay. I had a hard time getting the tattoos to work as seamlessly as I wanted, and I still think they look a little out of place on her body. I tried my best to get them to lay the way I wanted and to look like tattoos, but it was really hard for me to get these vibrant tattoos to look right on her skin, and I think that would maybe be easier on lighter skin tone again, but I really didn't want to push myself in that direction. I don't want to get pigeonholed into just doing lighter skin tones because I find them easier to draw, because honestly, that's my dog, honestly, I just don't want to be the kind of person who draws only the same thing over and over again, and that's why I'm doing this challenge, and that's why I'm using so many references and stepping out of my comfort zone, and it's giving me amazing drawings that I would have never made before, like Birdie Paradise and Cornelia Blue and a whole bunch of them that I never would have even considered drawing before this series, and it was really fun. So here I'm just shading in the skin and trying to give it as much depth as possible without going too dark. And I wanted to use some orangey shades to shade in her face, and I'm not sure how I was feeling about the balance at this point, so I think I go in and I tweak sort of the color balances a little later so that I can kind of make it look a little more pleasing to the eye. I don't know if I'm having trouble with getting the shading right, or if I'm just having trouble rendering it and making it look natural. Here I went in and added a little bit of a lighter undertone because the shadows were looking a little too dark, just so that it would bring a little bit of life into her face and make the shading look a little bit less muddy. And I feel bad because it made her skin tone a little lighter, but ultimately I feel like it went for a better drawing, so I'm kind of torn. Also, I added glitter to her eyelids, and then I went and I made the background for this large-scale piece also this really gaudy blue glittery texture because someone was like, this is how I draw glitter, and I wanted to try it, and then I got a little obsessed. I think it looks kind of like I said, gaudy, but I mean, I had fun with it, so whatever, you guys. I honestly really enjoyed doing this kind of out-of-this-world crazy makeup because I thought it was really fun. And I don't do makeup like this because I'm deeply insecure about doing makeup, and I always feel like I'm gonna look ridiculous if I wear bright blue something. So I'm always pretty subtle about my makeup. So drawing is an avenue for me. It's throw all those rules out the window, green lipstick, or in this case, blue lipstick. And I also gave her some face tattoos because I wanted to, and they were easier because they were little black shapes on her face, little stars and hearts, because I thought they were cute and I wanted to. And those are really common tattoos, okay? So here I am adding shading to the hair, and this was a challenge as well, because shading curls and making them look realistic is pretty hard, because you have to figure out all the places that it twists and turns, and where the light would hit, and where the shadows would fall, and it's not as straightforward as with straight hair, because with straight hair, it really only goes in the one direction, you know? And light can only come at it so many ways, but with curls, it's like you've got light refracting off the curls and bouncing over here, and shadows here, and twists here, and weird kinky waves over this way, and you're just like, what is happening? And that's part of the reason why I've really kind of held back from drawing like natural hair, where it's the really intense, coily curls. I have a character who has them, and I feel like every time I draw him, they just look terrible. And I have yet to figure out how to master that in the digital medium. So if anybody knows any good tutorials out there that can help me with this, please give me all the tutorials. All of them. All the tutorials. Also, this flower was just so complicated. Y'all, I don't know why this flower had any right to be this complicated. So as you know, I do trace the flowers usually because it makes the life so much easier, but at the same time, oh boy, you guys. Oh boy. This is just such a complicated little flower with all these little jagged edges, and I did not have a fun time painting it. I did not. But they looked great in the end, and that's all that matters. Speaking of the end, we are coming towards the end of this video, so while I still have time for an outro, I'm going to leave this one here for you guys. I hope you had a good evening, morning. I just forgot my own outro. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon, nighttime, time of day, and I will catch you guys in the next video. If you're subscribed, which you should be, and you should also hit the notification bell, and you should leave a comment, because your comments make me happy. And if you do, I will sing more? Is that something people want? Probably not. Anyway, you guys, that's all I have to say for this one, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.